Hi, my name is Womp Rat, and today we're revisiting Trapless Precipice. Now, I had calls from some of my friends and some messages to revisit this level and get you guys that two-skull take without any barricades. So here we are, back in the Precipice, which, by the way, is very boring to me right now because this is also, at the time of recording, the weekly challenge Into the Void, which is the same level layout. So I have seen this level quite a bit. So let's just dispense with some orc killing, and I'll just kind of ramble on about whatever. I've already talked the crap off about this level, and all the waves, and everything that could happen here. So we're just gonna go with whatever comes to mind. So, how about that local sports team, guys? Yeah. It's some flyers. Time to shoot them in the face, or try to, because I suck at sniping apparently today. So, yeah, we have some videos lined up, and it's all a matter of uploading them to YouTube, which is kind of time consuming. And I'll try to get what I can up before I pack up this computer. In just 2 days, and then I will see you guys back on the 18th. It's gonna be a fun trip. I get to visit Vegas before I move, so you know, hopefully I don't become some kind of disenfranchised person who's lost all of their money in Vegas. You know, because I like to bet it all on green on the roulette. Who cares if it's a statistical anomaly and not likely to happen? The odds! I could make so much money. But not really. I'm not really a person to gamble. Save calculated risks for me, please and thank you. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in Vegas. Hopefully the hotel is awesome. And what I'd really like to do is have like a nice big soaking tub. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys, when you are over 6 feet tall, especially here in the States, nothing is really made for you. If you go to a stadium or public transportation or anything that has any kind of seating, your knees tend to gouge into the seat in front of you, and it really sucks. Which makes, you know, soaking in a tub really uncomfortable, because most of the tubs here are tiny little porcelain things made for people who are like 5'4" or something like that. Alright, so let's shoot these guys. So we come back, might have some you know, we're gonna be trying to get some more co-op videos with SabinKenobi. Go ahead and check out our weekly this week. Just got done recording with him, or not recording. We did a recording last night, and then we logged in this morning and saw that our score had been beaten, which, yeah, we kind of expected that. Even talked about that at the end of our video. Came back today, and yeah, I set up shop in my little hidey hole. Went ahead and played support sniping with Ice Amulet and support Wind Belt, and we were able to increase our score very dramatically with me getting Trapless and Untouchable. Always handy. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get some more co-op videos with SabinKenobi. I'm going to focus on getting some more videos from Trapless Experiment uploaded for you guys, as I actually have several already downloaded. It's just a matter of needing to go through, edit out some of the audio on one of them, as I do not have copyright permission for the music I was listening to in the background, and I'm kind of a stickler for that sort of thing. We're gonna get some Jeremy L in there, because it's royalty-free music, and it'll give you guys something to listen to in the background that isn't just sheer silence. Also on the agenda, at some point after I move and get all set up, we're going to be doing some, I don't even know what game we're going to play, but SabinKenobi and I are going to play some SNES games co-op over the internet. Like I said, I'm not sure what we're going to play, but we'll figure out something. I think there's been talk of maybe like playing like a Turtles game, like maybe like Turtles in Time. That's a pretty fun game. Maybe some other games too. Have no idea. It has been so long since I've had an SNES and have owned an SNES cartridge. Fun little story about SNES. I used to own one of the cartridges for Harvest Moon for the SNES. It is more of a rare game. I didn't make many copies of it. I have a few other games, or have owned a few other games. Some of them I wish I had now, but that one's a particularly fun story because I remember taking it to a couple local game stores, one of which is no longer around, Electronics Boutique. They were bought out by another company that also offered me a similar deal for my copy of Harvest Moon. You gotta remember, this is back when the SNES was relevant. I think I was selling all my stuff to get a PlayStation. But yeah, local game stores all wanted to offer me $5 for my Harvest Moon cartridge, and I, happened to know that the game went for a significant amount more than that. I was hoping to get a little bit more than that. In fact, I would have been happy had they, given me like $30 for it, what I considered it to be worth. So I ended up putting it on eBay and was delighted when my cartridge of Harvest Moon went for over $100. I was very happy with that. That really went on its way to help me, like I said, get a PlayStation and start playing some cool games like Final Fantasy VII. I mean, back up until that point, hadn't played very many of the Final Fantasy games. I really enjoy Final Fantasy VI, which back then I knew as Final Fantasy III for the Super Nintendo. Actually, still one of my favorite Final Fantasies to date. Maybe I'll do a playthrough at some point. They just enjoyed, I believe it was either their 20th or yeah, it had to be their 20th anniversary. I don't think it would be their 25th anniversary for that game. It was released in 1990, oh, I don't know. I want to say it was like 95 here in the States, and 93 or 92 in Japan. There were some live streamers doing some live streams of it a couple months back. It's got one of my favorite stories, a whole slew of characters that I loved almost every single one of them. And having played through multiple times now and, getting older between it all, you start to appreciate certain character storylines a little bit more. When you're smaller and you're looking at a character like Strago or Setzer, you're not as, oh, okay, I'm into that. I mean, you're going to be like, oh man, that Sabin guy, that Edgar, that Locke, that, more of the people in that are more interesting. You don't appreciate people like Gao or Strago or even Realm to some extent. I mean, everyone's like, oh, I love Shadow, he's a ninja, but unless you go through the game and, wait for Shadow and take him along to Cyan's Dream, I mean, you don't appreciate some of the characters and their stories as much when you're younger, because it has no relevance to you. You can't relate to it, but pop back in, it has a whole new meaning. Probably one of my least favorite Final Fantasy songs, no, I'm going to get a little bit of flack for it, is 8. Felt that the arrival of the Ragnarok was a little bit too Deus Ex Machina for me, and I'm really not a big fan of Squall, and I think the main reason, the main ultimate reason, and I'll have to do a playthrough of this at some point, for why I really disliked that game was I spent an entire playthrough. I went through the game, I played through it, and I was like, okay, I feel that the story was a little weak. And so I played through it again, because there's this big, huge thing. Spoiler alert, turn me off if you do not want to know the end of Final Fantasy VIII. Have you not played it, or have any interest in playing it, go ahead and turn me off now. The end of that game, oh, guess what, guys? The reason why we didn't know that we had grown up together and knew everyone was because of our reliance and use of GFs, Guardian Force. And so I was like, oh, you know what? Some games have some pretty ridiculous things in them. You know, alternate endings, Chrono Trigger. If you play the game a certain way. So I decided I was going to go through Final Fantasy VIII and play it without ever equipping or using a GF. And yeah, getting through that game without doing that is a chore. And I think I lost a good chunk of my life doing that as a child, but yeah, I went through it, and guess what? Same ending. Imagine going through all that hard work, and you're told, oh yeah, it's our reliance and use of GFs. Wait, when did we ever equip one? Oh, never. And then all of a sudden, you know, oh, giant gaping hole in the story. Thank you for that. So, yeah, I might do some kind of insane playthrough like that at some point again. It's not like I like the game to begin with, so I'm more than happy to make fun of it while I go through it. Probably do that. And just kind of poke around, do some other things. I want to go through and play Evo for the SNES. That was one of my favorite rental games. Never owned it, never found a copy of it. I was waiting for the video store that had it to eventually, you know, sell it, because, you know, video stores after a while they'd start to sell their old inventory, but they never got rid of it. I think it ended up getting stolen by someone, or like not returned, like the person moved out of state or something like that and didn't bother to return it, as happened with a few other games. But yeah, one of my regrets is that, you know, I don't have a lot of my old systems that I grew up with. I had to sell all of my prior systems in order to get a new system, because I had to, other than my regular Nintendo, which I had when I think I was like 3 or 4, everything after that I had to pretty much sell my old system and do odd jobs in order to have the money to buy every successive system from that. I was not given games or any of that. Alright, we have SabinKenobi asking me if I'm done recording yet. Previous take, he had asked me if I was recording, and then told me that he was going to try to ruin the take. He didn't have to actually do that. The take was already in the process of failing. It was actually on Wave 9, where we are now. But yeah, a lot of odd jobs, growing up. You know, even in single digits as a kid. Good old days. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead, get some more awesome videos in here. I'm happy to be moving, and hopefully I'll be moving again shortly after I get there. So, yes, end of ramble and end of level. And there you guys go, 2 skulls. That's what you guys came here for. If you're just now taking me off mute, Yes, victory, Trapless, didn't take any barricades this time, and we did, you know, probably could have done better. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed. See you guys later.